Hey folks, it's Scott at the X-Fed Homestead. Well, it's a really hot sunny day again today. We've had a lot of temperatures in the 90s, and we're going to have another week that's in the very high 80s and low 90s. The tomatoes love it though, so today we're going to talk about tomatoes. I've got some pruning to do, I've got some fallen tomatoes that I need to pull back up, and I've got a lot of really plump, ripe tomatoes that I need to pick. So hopefully tonight I'll be making some sauce. I made some pickles already this year, some nice quarts of pickles, and we're gonna do the same with tomatoes. So if you're interested in tomatoes, let's get to work. Today's a great day for taking care of the tomatoes. It's in the low 90s, humidity's about 50% or so, but it's a lot better than it has been. So let me take you through the row of tomatoes I have, and we'll see what some of the issues are that we can deal with. As you look down the row here, you can see a few tomatoes that are in the path that fell away from the weight of the tomatoes that they have on them. And there are a few branches that have either need to be plucked or need to be straightened out against the fence so that we can grow some more tomatoes. But this tomato right here, that's about 7 feet high right there. Perfect. And you can see they're going to have some nice tomatoes up there. Tomatoes look pretty good going down the row, and then you see this spot that's open. Oh my goodness. We got to take care of that and pick that guy up. These are some nice jet stars. I've eaten a bunch of these already this summer, and they are doing great. And they taste great with buffalo mozzarella on there and a nice caprese salad. Those are fantastic. Now my wife loves these. Those are ready to pick right now, a bunch of them. So I'm gonna have to get those. I only grew one plant this year, but it's got a bunch of branches off it that look like they're going to produce real soon. These Roma tomatoes, they look great. They've got some real healthy development, but they've got a lot of bushes I need to prune off them. A lot of leaves I need to prune so the sun can get at them. So I've got to get to work doing that. Usually when I prune my tomatoes, I have two buckets. One bucket I have to put the parts in that I trim off, and the other bucket I have to sit on, because I'm going to be up and down, up and down. I like to make it a little bit easy on myself. This first plant we have here has a couple of leaves at the bottom that have a little bit of disease on them. Earlier in the season, I took all of these plants and chopped all the leaves off the bottom. But as rain comes, disease starts to come from the ground up. So it splashes, fungus will splash on these lower leaves when it rains really hard. And you got to cut those off so it doesn't spread throughout the whole plant. Fortunately, it seems to work its way up, and hopefully our tomatoes will ripen before all of that happens. But this first one, I'm going to trim off some of the leaves. And what that does is it also helps the plant to be a little bit more healthy so that the sun can come in between the leaves and ripen the fruit, as well as allow airflow within the plant. So I'll cut off a bunch of leaves, and it doesn't really hurt the plant, especially these low ones that are down near the ground. Now I had to interrupt my pruning of the first plant here to deal with the second plant, which fell down. There was a lot of tomatoes and then a big open hole, and it looks like the weight of these tomatoes has taken two plants down, and they're laying on the ground. So I want to make sure they're well supported, and I've been using these wires here to keep them up, these tomato wires. I've shown them in other videos as well. And I also have something else that I like to use. It's in my pocket here. and that's these clips. And these clips will wrap around the fencing. There we go. These clips will wrap around the fencing, and then they snap into each other and they hold the tomato up. So hopefully a couple of clips will be able to hoist this tomato plant. It's heavy, but a bunch of tomatoes, the ripe ones, just fell off it. So now I know they're ripe, and I can definitely pick the ripe ones now. Snip off some of the leaves here that are getting in my way. Look at that. That's that's just what fell off. Look at that. So I got another basket for these. I'll just put them on the ground for the moment while I keep working. Well, this second plant's a bit of a mess as well. It fell over from the weight of the tomatoes that are on it, and that's not a bad thing. We can fix that. So if you find your tomatoes have fallen over, it's going to be okay. Don't worry. Everything's going to be fine. Just pick them up and put them back on the trellis as best as you can. If you have a stake, stake them up really good. You can use wires, string. My neighbor uses pantyhose, and it works great. So it gives a little stretch to the vine. When it gets weighty, it won't snap. It'll just stretch. So if you want to go the pantyhose route, do that. But I like to use these clips and the veggie wires that I showed you earlier. So I'm going to give this plant a second chance at life here. But I think I'll pick off a few of the ripe ones before I lift it up. Now one clip is holding it, but I'm going to put a few more. I'm going to put some wires on there. I have a nice thick veggie wire there. I'm going to use that to take up a bunch of the weight. There, that looks great. It's taken up a lot of the weight, and I'm going to trim away some of the vegetation. But the one warning I can give you is when you use these vegetable wires, be careful when you're pruning, because you can clip those. They look just like tomato stalks. Ask me how I know. Yeah. Hey. Well, I got interrupted in my pruning, of course. These things always happen, but I'm back at it, and I picked a bunch of tomatoes. But you can also see here, I've got a bunch more to pick. And when we get closer, you'll see a few more. So let's get back to taking care of these tomatoes. Well, I'm done finally doing the trimming, and the plants just look so much better when you trim them. And you pull them up so that they're at their full height. I had a bunch that were drooped over, and now when you look at them, they all look fairly straight. There's one on the ground that I left there. It was too bent to pull back up. But most of them I straightened out and put them up tall so that they could get the sun, and hopefully they'll the green ones will redden up really quick now. I got rid of all the dead leaves, any diseased leaves that I saw. I got rid of as many as I could, and the really red ones are really popping. So I have my bowl here. I want to fill this up with tomatoes, and this is the big tomato payoff that you wait for all summer, where you can get a nice bowl of tomatoes. And I think tonight I'll be making some sauce or canning some chopped tomatoes. So I'll be working late, but it'll be a bit of fun. So let me pick these. Well, look at those, huh? That's gonna be nice. Oh, I'm overflowing here. I've got some Roma tomatoes right here, some nice Romas. I've got some San Marzano and San Marzano Gigante. These are a good size one. Look at those compared to my head, you know. Or here, that's how big it is. It's bigger than my head. So I'm gonna take this bowl and make some sauce tonight, I think, and make a nice caprese salad. I like that. I've got a couple of Jet Star tomatoes here that I'm going to use for that, and put the buffalo cheese or the mozzarella cheese and the some fresh basil from the garden and a little olive oil on there. It'll be fantastic. So until next time, this is Scott at the X-Fed Homestead. We'll see you.